Everyone, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. I am Rich. This is Six String Fun. Actually, I had a request for this one, and I hadn't done it for quite a while because for some reason I couldn't quite get the piano intro right, and all of a sudden it came together. So it's not perfect, but it'll work. What are we talking about here? We're talking about On the Dark Side from the movie Eddie and the Cruisers, which is actually John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. I believe they're out of Rhode Island. Not sure if they're kind of still gigging or not, but one of my favorite movies ever. It just, for some reason, something about that movie that just love it. So anyway, we're going to get into that. There's actually about 4 pieces to this tune. You've got the piano intro, which we just kind of went over. You've got a riff in the, kind of in a verse. Right, we got that riff as well. You've got the chord structure. And then the fourth part of it's basically the saxophone solo, which we're not really going to get into. I'll kind of just maybe noodle around, show you where you can kind of do some things, but that's basically the whole song. And it's a quick one too. It's only about a 2-minute song, maybe 2.5 minutes. So let's get into it. I'll show you how I do it. I think it'll go over well, really with any type of band you're doing. It's a fun one too. And if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe. Lots of great things coming out this year, so check it out. But let's jump right into this one, On the Dark Side, John Cafferty and Beaver Brown Band. All right, so here we go. So what I was doing for the intro is basically a lot of this song revolves around the first 3 strings, your high E, your B, and your G. All these riffs are kind of starting there. Right, that's the piano riff, and then you've got the guitar riff. So let's go over the piano riff first. So really what I did was, we're using the E and the B string open for for all this, really for these intros. Everything else is just going to be single notes off of the G string. The piano intro, we're going to be on the 4th fret of the G string. Okay? We go to the 2nd fret, 1st, 2nd, back to the 4th, using these the open strings in between each one, right? So we're going to count. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Repeat it. So you're playing that twice. The 3rd time around, we're going to go 3rd string, 1st string. And then we start moving up the neck. Let's go over right now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And it repeats. And actually, I don't know if we're hitting that high E string on the final note of this riff, because it turns around right back into the 4th fret of the G string. So all together. Yeah, so it's only 2 notes there on that final 2nd position, right? 2nd fret position. So it's that 2nd fret of the G string, and I honestly don't know if I'm hitting the open B or the open E. They both sound good, but that final note is your turnaround to go back into it. And then the vocals come in. Dark Side calling out Nothing Is Real, right? So that continues. Somewhere in that 2nd or 3rd line in the verse, you get the true guitar riff. So similar strumming pattern, picking pattern. 7th fret of the G string, which is our 3rd string, it's going to go 7, 6, 2, 4. So that rhythm is going to be. But when we're on the 7th and 6th frets, we're using those open strings again. But not when we get up here. So it'll be strings 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4 on the frets there. All right, now that rhythm pattern is going to be thrown in there in between as the verse is going on. There's a couple places where it's kind of right in between. Just listen to it. You'll hear it, obviously. I think the first line is from Out of the Shadows, She Walks Like a Dream. Out of the shadows, she walks like a dream. Make me feel crazy, make me feel so mean. All right. Now, as we're getting ready to come out of that first verse, we're going to go to a B suspended 4, to a B, A suspended 4, A, repeat the A sus 4, on the dark side, and that guitar riff will come back in there. So if we put it all together, I think it goes like this. Nothing secret from the love that's blind. Keep to the dark side and there's that line. On the dark side. And then the chords start coming in with this riff still kind of in between. So it's an E, it's an A, it's a D, back to the A. Now, I believe for this first part of it, before the band really kicks in, it's going to be. So we're taking the first 2 chords, the E and the A, and we're going 7, 6, 2, and we're done there. And then it kind of builds. And then it kind of goes into dark side's calling out, right? And it just kind of continues. That's basically your song right there. That's going to continue. You keep playing. I believe that at this point, this riff is done. The guitar riff is gone for most of the song. I mean, the remainder of the song. So we keep playing these chords, and then it's gonna modulate to A. So you're going from E, A, D to A, D, G. Okay? And you only play this. And I think back to this for once or twice. And we go back into that B suspended 4. And it repeats. So that continues. And then you're going to go into the saxophone solo. I don't really know it, but what you can do is you kind of just can noodle around in that C sharp minor box. No, so you're and then back to that B. A. And that's really it. Now, I mentioned earlier, this is it's a quick song. If you've ever seen Cafferty and Beaver Brown live, or if you've ever heard some of the live recordings, what they'll do is they'll go back into this, they'll go back into, right, that continues on. Instead of fading out, they go back to this B. And they go back into the intro. Kind of gets the crowd involved again, and then they drag it out from there, stretch it out, which kind of gets it close to like a 3.5 minute song. That's a tune. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a fun one. It really is. Obviously, a lot better if you have a piano player that can kind of play that intro riff, but if you want to do it yourself, that's how you can do it. Enjoy it. See you in the next one.